Hello, good morning everybody. Here's another Diecast pickup video ranging from both the Gen 4 era, as you can see right here, and the Today era. First, we'll start off with Mark Martin, one of Mark Martin's throwback cars he drove back in 2005. I don't actually remember which particular race he drove this in. I think it was the Texas race where Greg Biffle won. I don't remember. I think it was the early 80s he drove this paint scheme as his everyday operations. Does look pretty damn cool. Next, we've got Casey Kane's Bud Shootout scheme, which also at the same time, he drove this at the Darlington race, which was the same race he got the pole on, if I remember correctly. Which is also another race Greg Biffle won. You know, we kind of miss Greg Biffle racing on the track. As you see, the front is really, really dirty. I'm not sure if it's worth putting up on nails. Next, it's Kyle Busch's Chicago race win diecast. I know I was angry after Kyle Busch won that race, badly wanting Kyle Larson to win, but hey, this is just too awesome to pass up. I mean, I only got it for $4.88 at Walmart, I presume, and if I passed it up, it would have been more expensive with the years to come, so I decided to get cheap. The finish was damn fucking awesome, but Kyle Busch still displayed his douchebaggery after that race. Next is Casey Kane's long yard scheme that he drove and crashed at the Talladega Aaron's 499, which was the same race Jeff Gorin won with the Star Wars Revenge of the Sith paint scheme. Unfortunately, the force was with a lot of people that race. Casey Kane was not one of them. But he did finish the race, so the force was with him to some degree. Next, I'm surprised I didn't have this car earlier, or in my childhood days, but his Dale Earnhardt Silver scheme that he raced back in 1995 during the, I think it was the All-Star race that he drove this. I decided to purchase this because I already have Austin Dillon's throwback car to this, so I decided to buy it and eventually someday compare the two, like I did in some previous videos of mine. Next time I'll probably go in more in depth. Next we've got Matt DiBenedetto's Orange Crush throwback, speaking of throwbacks, that he drove back in 2016. Originally, I wasn't supposed to buy it because it wasn't commemorating any older paint scheme, but I decided, since it was a year that Jimmy Johnson won his 7th championship, I decided to, call me weird, but I always buy diecasts, or at least almost every good diecast that Jimmy Johnson won a championship in, with the exception of 2008, 2009, and 2010, because for one thing, I hate the wing cars. And 2009 and 2008 were garbage years, and 2010, if they were selling the spoilers, the diecast with spoilers, I would buy them, but no, they proceed to just implement wing cars on them, in spite of the fact that it was spoilers that they had on, as of the 5th season and onwards, not the wings, so it kind of ruins the diecasts for me that year. Next, Brad Keselowski's Worth scheme from 2016. Speaking of which, from 2016 yet again. I've seen him run this scheme a decent amount of times. I think he won the scheme back in 2015 at Fontana. And I saw him race the scheme in 2017. I decided to get it from particularly 2016 because, you know, that's the year Jimmy Johnson won his 7th championship, to commemorate Jimmy Johnson winning championships. I'm not gonna buy his Worth scheme from 2015 or 17 because it's pretty much the same recycled scheme. Next is Ryan Blaney's wins scheme from Pocono 2017. I'm surprised that Ryan Blaney won the scheme a lot. Well, not a lot in quantity, but a lot. That I was so aroused that he would win a race such as a track like Pocono in a shit tier team. Even beating Kevin Harvick and Kyle Busch, the one currently on the biggest winning ratios. Speaking of Kevin Harvick, here's his throwback scheme that he drove yet again to commemorate, I think it was Cale Yarborough. The second year in a row, this time with the Ford manufacturer rather than the Chevrolet manufacturer back in 2017. And then, last but not least, is Brad Keselowski's Miller Lite throwback. It's not a throwback to any old school paint scheme, but it's a throwback to the old colors for the Miller Lite company. Alright, that's all I got for today. Thank you guys for watching. Take care. Have a nice day. Space out.